yet again. This is the Alex Gem Experience, the ACE podcast. Welcome. This session is going to blow your mind. It's time to heat up, people. What am I on about this time? I'm talking about the importance of the sauna. Yes, studies are now showing that the sauna has incredible benefits for us. Now, I'm going to outline several of them. And I'm pretty sure it's going to absolutely blow your mind. So you might want to start investing your time, energy, even your finances in ensuring that you can access the sauna frequently. So let's dive in. What are some of the benefits that derive from the sauna? So let me give you a brief summary, and then we'll dive into the specificities. There we go. As the podcast unfolds. So firstly, there are numerous health and performance-related benefits that derive from us entering the sauna. And I'm going to refer to it as heat acclimation, okay? So heat acclimation, getting used to the heat for periodically for specific times, really significantly increasing the heat around you. It doesn't have to be just the sauna. Like, you can get numerous benefits from having a bath and completely immersing yourself in a hot bath, but the duration is important. So what we learn here, what science is now showing us, is that duration and frequency of sauna usage or heat acclimation periodically can increase the benefits that we get from all of the benefits that I'm going to outline in this podcast. So it can increase endurance. So our fitness levels will drastically improve when we frequently use the sauna, especially we're looking at that sweet spot between 20 to 30 minutes each time. Really makes a massive difference. So essentially, think about how you perform in the gym now in terms of your endurance, even lifting weights, your physical energy expenditure, how exhausted you get and how quickly. Essentially, if you went a month without a sauna usage or without any heat acclimation, you just went to the gym consistently, in comparison to if you did the same kind of workouts, but this time several times every week in that month, you went into the sauna for, say, 20 minutes. And if, say, some of those sauna sessions consisted of you going into the sauna for like 20 minutes, then going out into the cool, whether it be going for a little swim or having a cold shower or just chilling out for half hour, and then going back into the sauna for 20 minutes again, the benefits really double as a bare minimum, really. And, the version of yourself who went into the sauna several times during the month, your endurance will drastically improve. Your performance will massively improve. Not just your recovery, but what it does to your heart rate variability and so on and so forth. It really is spectacular stuff, guys. You can actually maintain and build muscle mass purely through this heat exposure as well. It really is incredible. And it can get you, as I mentioned earlier, increasing your heart rate variability. It can get you accustomed to dealing with stress better, really, even in areas that aren't necessarily directly relatable to your physical aspirations, your physical goals, like dealing with stress in terms of your day-to-day stresses at work or what have you. Sauna can make your heart more flexible, if you will, in terms of your heart beating, dealing with a stressful response. And we all know, if you're familiar with my material, you'll understand that, many of our non-immediate stresses, like thinking about things that stress us out, like going to work or stresses in our relationships or what have you, in many occasions, they have a very similar physical stress response to like when we deal with fight or flight related issues, such as if we're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, or if we were being chased by a bunch of hooligans, for instance. When we get stressed out, it turns on those same triggers, if you will. So developing our ability, our capacity to deal with stressful responses can have all kinds of mental and physical benefits for us. It can lead to neurogenesis. Like regularly using the sauna can support neurogenesis. What is neurogenesis? I'll touch upon this later on in a bit more detail, but it really is the creation of new neurons within our brain. So we can improve in that area. We can also improve our ability to memorize things, our ability to learn and stay focused. And in many ways, it can also alleviate some symptoms and signs of depression and anxiety as well. So the sauna just has many benefits that go beyond, like it has benefits in terms of longevity. It's been shown to increase livelihood of rats in many scientific studies that have been done. And, it's expected that this can also spill over into enabling human beings to live longer because of frequently using the sauna. So it really is tremendous stuff. And I really advocate utilizing the sauna as part of your exercise regime or as part of your health regime. So let's get into the science of it, okay? What we have to understand is that frequently using the sauna has now been scientifically associated with having fewer cardiac-related deaths. That's right. We're referring to heart disease. We're referring to reducing cardiovascular disease. It's incredible what the science is now revealing, guys. It can reduce our risk of stroke. It can lower hypertension, essentially lowering our blood pressure. I mean, it's unbelievable. Our hearts love the sauna. And what's good for the heart is also good for the brain. I've taught you that in the past. And it's completely true. Sauna increases our longevity. And it can even not only help us with things like diabetes, cancer, and all kinds of cardiovascular diseases and so on and so forth. But it can also reduce brain-related illnesses such as dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So, the sauna, the science is really, it speaks for itself now, guys. It's time to start taking sauna use very, very seriously. Let's dive in a little deeper, shall we? So our physiological responses to heat, heat stress really benefits our cardiovascular system. It elevates our core body temperature. And, in many ways, the sauna and actual physical exercise have many benefits. It does the same sort of thing. It makes our skin temperature increase. And when we use the sauna, what happens is our blood, right, gets redistributed from our organs and it moves to the skin. In fact, science is now showing that, up to 50 to 70% of our blood will move from our organs to our skin to facilitate with sweating. That's what happens. When we're cold or cool, much of our blood distribution is far more balanced, and essentially it supports our organs a lot more. But when we do things like exercise or when we go into the sauna, the blood has to go to the skin surface, and when that happens to induce sweating, we have all kinds of health-related benefits due to blood circulation here. And that's why I like to combine going into the cold sauna. No. Going into the sauna and or steamer, or even having a hot bath for a long period of time, and then shocking the body by exposing our body to freezing cold conditions, such as a freezing cold shower or freezing cold bath or a plunge if you've got those facilities. Really is tremendous for making sure that our blood rushes between the skin surface and our organs and back and forth. And that's what happens when you expose yourself to a cold shower. Blood rushes from the skin back to the organs. Kind of like that shock response trying to keep us alive, because our body's like, what the hell is going on here? So we can really, really benefit from kind of manipulating where our blood rushes to and the blood redistribution process here. And I kind of want to touch upon what's known as heat shock proteins. And heat shock proteins are fantastic. And when we regularly use the sauna, especially in terms of duration and frequency, it kind of slows down muscular atrophy, guys. So it enables us to maintain our muscle size, which is incredibly important. And what happens is when we regularly use the sauna, it maintains proteins. And we need these to make different cells for our bodies. Like we need certain proteins and certain protein structures that are supported through sauna use in order to produce red blood cells, white blood cells. You know, red blood cells are fantastic for our endurance. Red blood cells are fantastic for producing oxygen, but also carrying carbon dioxide to the lungs so we can exhale carbon dioxide. And it really improves the efficiency within our breathing, our health. It's really, really beautiful stuff. And white blood cells, as I'm sure you're aware, is great for protecting our immune system and therefore staving off or delaying at least all kinds of illnesses and diseases and so on and so forth. So it really is beautiful. You know, developing these protein structures also can help our synaptical functions. So synapses connect neurons and cells. And we want to strengthen the synapse connections because that's what enables us to have clearer and better quality thoughts, make better choices for ourselves and so on and so forth. So really producing these heat shock proteins are sensational. So, and what science is now showing us is that people who are heat acclimated actually get a better heat shock response. So people who are regularly exposing themselves to really hot climates are really starting to benefit from these heat shock responses and these heat shock proteins that get created and so on and so forth. So we're massively improving the quality of our healths by utilizing the sauna here, folks. Sauna has also been shown to lower inflammation. And, inflammation is absolutely incredibly significant for our health, our longevity, our immune system, our digestive system. It plays a major role in the aging process and reducing the risk of age-related illnesses, like I said. Because when you regularly use the sauna, it increases anti-inflammatory biomarkers, guys. So what's a biomarker? A biomarker is like being able to monitor and spot how we respond to diseases and illnesses. And it kind of tracks the severity of these illnesses. So this is really, really important stuff that we need to take seriously, folks. So the sauna also improves endorphins. I was speaking earlier about how the sauna usage is similar to exercise. And, when we exercise, it produces endorphins and improves our mood. It has mood-enhancing benefits as well. And the exact same applies to when we use the sauna. It does have a massive mood benefit for a whole host of different reasons. And when you get into the sauna and you're staying there for a long time, your heart starts to pump and you start to get a little bit stressed out when you're in the sauna because of how hot it is. And when we experience that, and then when we leave the sauna, for instance, start to monitor how you feel. You'll start to feel a lot calmer. You'll start to feel in a better mood. You'll start to feel less stress and more calm. And it's because of the stress response that was induced when you were in the sauna, guys. So your mood starts to benefit. Your neurotransmitters start to benefit. I'll touch upon that later. And like I said, the sauna can improve cognitive function. Really, it's a natural antidepressant. There's no need to get accustomed to all kinds of illicit drugs that doctors provide. It's totally unnecessary because a lot of these illicit antidepressants that you get from doctors, they might have some benefits in terms of reducing stress, alleviating depression, and so on and so forth. But usually these medicines have all kinds of negative effects on us as well. And it's unnecessary. There are certain things that we can do to naturally reduce stress, to naturally alleviate sadness and depression, guys. Sleeping well, exercising often, utilizing the sauna, meditation, making time for your hobbies and things that you enjoy. These are all some natural ways that you can start to alleviate stress, depression, and to feel more in control of your life, to be honest with you. Other benefits of the sauna. Now, sweating has a whole host of different benefits. Another thing that you might want to pay attention to is that sweating actually enables us to excrete heavy metals, like mercury, for example. And it's better to excrete some of these heavy metals through sweat rather than urine, for example. So sweating is incredibly important for us for releasing toxins, for releasing and excreting these heavy metals. Sauna is definitely safe, especially for people who are quite healthy. And if you're unaccustomed to exercising and you want to slowly start to get used to exercising, whether it be running on the treadmill or taking part in classes or taking part in resistance training like lifting weights and so on and so forth, if you're really unhealthy and you struggle with physical exercise, or you're not used to it and you're quite worried about easing into it, then going into the sauna can be a great warm-up, if you will, a great way to start getting yourself used to increasing your heart rate gradually, start sweating and so on and so forth, and getting some of those exercise benefits without physically exercising. So it's a great way to help people go from 0 to hero, if you will, or 0 to 100 in terms of their activity levels. Whoa, dropping some serious knowledge here. What else? There's a similar effect between using the sauna, like I said earlier, and having hot baths, and it affects our endocrine system. So what is our endocrine system? Essentially, it's our endocrine system is responsible for balancing and supporting our hormones, regulating our sleep, regulating our mood, regulating our metabolism, really. So it absolutely does wonders for, like I said earlier, our mood, our hormones, the way we function, our testosterone levels, and so on and so forth. So if you are to use the bath as having a hot bath as a means of benefiting from heat exposure and getting heat acclimated, then you're going to want to submerge your entire body in the bath. Like sometimes when you're having a really hot bath, you'll be tempted to leave your feet out or your arms out, or leave your upper chest out of the bath because it's a bit too hot. But really, you're taking away a lot of the benefits that I'm outlining here, guys. So you're definitely going to want to stay pretty much completely submerged, apart from your head, completely submerged within a hot bath, if you are to benefit from these avenues, okay? So what other benefits can we get from the sauna? We're talking about also insulin sensitivity. So the frequent sauna use can actually help us to lose weight. Not just because of the fact that it emulates the benefits and the physiological responses we get from exercising, but it also supports insulin levels, okay? And it supports insulin sensitivity. Insulin is an endocrine hormone, like I was saying earlier, and it regulates glucose, okay? By essentially promoting the use of glucose into muscle and, fat cells, fat tissues, and so on and so forth. So insulin plays a massive role in protein metabolism. So, and it helps to regulate protein metabolism, to be honest. So it increases synthesis by stimulating amino acids into our muscles. So it really does do wonders for us. And insulin sensitivity is essentially the opposite of being insulin resistant. People who are insulin resistant, what happens is your cells, they lose their efficiency. And when you're insulin resistant, it forces your pancreas to excessively produce glucose, because your cells aren't taking up glucose as well as they used to. And when this happens, glucose, it starts to spill over and our cells really struggle. It starts taking in and absorbing too much glucose. Like I said, its glucose starts to spill over and leads to all kinds of problems for our health, all kinds of inflammation and issues. And effectively, it's kind of like our bodies become numb to taking in glucose. Just very much like how, when you start to drink alcohol, you start to consume coffee too often. Like your body needs a higher and higher dosage of caffeine or alcohol, for example. And the same applies to glucose and, taking on board sugars. And really, it's a very dangerous process that can lead to all kinds of problems, type 2 diabetes and so on and so forth. A lot of fat. We start to store more and more fat as a result of being insulin resistant. But sauna actually opposes this process and supports insulin sensitivity, meaning we don't need to take on board as much glucose in our diet in order to feel the impact of all the glucose. It gets readily absorbed by our cells. Our pancreas doesn't have to start producing excessive amounts of glucose because our cells are working so optimally, we're functioning so well in terms of the nutrients is taken on board, and part of that is proteins and glucose. And this is what we want, guys. And sauna can really, really support insulin sensitivity in this avenue. So it can definitely support a healthy lifestyle, especially in conjunction with exercise. Okay. And it's actually been shown now, muscle, as I outlined earlier, it can support muscle development and keeping muscle mass, this heat exposure, because of what it does to growth hormone and so on and so forth. But it also really supports us when we get muscle injuries. Say if we've been overtraining and not sleeping well, and thus we become more susceptible to acquiring an injury, of maybe losing focus or not being able to move or perform well in the gym, therefore injuring ourselves. Because what it does is it enables us to produce muscle regrowth, and therefore looking after our muscles once we've been injured, or it can actually prevent us from acquiring injuries in the future by regularly using the sauna. So sauna use is great for muscle recovery, but also muscle regrowth. Okay, I'll read out a statistic here for you as well. A 30-minute hypothermic treatment increases muscle regrowth by 30%. Okay, so this is absolutely huge, guys. Look after your muscles, prevent yourself from becoming injured, help with muscle recovery, help maintain muscle mass and therefore supporting your metabolism. And therefore, because when you've got more muscle mass, guys, what happens is it's easier for you to burn off body fat. Because say if a lean version of yourself or an even leaner version of yourself or less muscular version of yourself went for a run side by side next to the way you are now, your more muscular version would actually burn more calories, especially at rest, because of your metabolism, because of the oxygen required to pump to your muscles. The workout just becomes harder because of your muscle mass. So maintaining your muscle mass is crucial for a healthier lifestyle, increasing your metabolism, helping your posture, helping yourself function better, producing muscular injuries, and so on and so forth. So sauna, especially after some form of resistance training, is fantastic for your muscle recovery, for your muscle growth, and so on and so forth. So there are all kinds of ways in which sauna supports our physical shape. Like I said earlier, insulin sensitivity is increased and improved. It supports muscle mass, keep maintaining the muscle that you have because of the growth hormone that's produced in the pituitary gland due to the benefits of the sauna, the heat exposure, the heat acclimation, and you're less likely to become injured as a result of utilizing the sauna. So those are just some of the weight loss and the muscle gain benefits that derive from regular sauna usage here. So what are some of the mental and or emotional benefits that arise as a result of using the sauna. So, heat stress, like I said earlier, it activates heat shock proteins, which actually prevent the onslaught of protein degradation. So, oxidative stress is a massive source of protein degradation. And what I mean by that is ruining our protein DNA, if you will. So oxidative stress is absolutely awful for our health. It leads to essentially many free radicals, and free radicals wreak havoc on our healthy existing cells, both neurons and cells within our body. And these free radicals essentially compromised and unhealthy cells. They essentially start to bully healthy cells in order to take their electrons, because they're missing electrons, you see. So they go to harm our healthy cells. And this starts a chain reaction. And this is how, over time, it leads to, exponential amounts of free radicals, leading to massive oxidative damage, leading to all kinds of health-related problems, all kinds of diseases and illnesses as a result of oxidative stress. And we can get oxidative stress in a whole host of different ways, like through our exposure to pesticides, through our exposure to air pollutants, and all kinds of dangerous toxins that are released into the environment. Oxidative stress is produced when we overtrain. Poor sleep quality can lead to oxidative stress. Poor quality diets, regularly having excessive amounts of alcohol or smoking tobacco, or a really unhealthy diet, high in carbohydrates, high in refined sugary diet and foods, can lead to oxidative stress. And what I'm essentially saying here is that sauna usage can produce these heat shock proteins that are fantastic for our protein structure and supporting in the success of all kinds of cells. Like I said earlier, red blood cells, white blood cells, improving the connections between our neurons in terms of the synapses and so on and so forth. So it's brilliant for our overall health, and it's brilliant for reducing all kinds of illnesses, like I spoke about near the beginning of this podcast. So what else does it do? So when we are in the sauna and we're getting used to the heat shock benefits, what happens is it produces and releases a hormone / neurotransmitters called norepinephrine. Okay, and norepinephrine is related to our sympathetic nervous system, and it's essential for being able to produce an accurate response to dangerous or stressful situations. So appropriate amounts of norepinephrine, it does wonders for our reactionary times, brilliant for our focus, our memory, our ability to learn. It's great for our ability, like I said, our focus, our alertness, our sharpness, being acute, being adept and very much switched on. And essentially, regularly sauna use can, over time, massively improve our ability to be sharper, to be more focused, and therefore to learn more. So it stimulates the activation of norepinephrine, which in moderation, it does wonders for our energy levels, our ability to focus, be more productive, get more done, be alert, which again improves our ability when we're in the gym as well. It improves your ability to be focused, to your reaction, your movement, your speed, your agility, all benefit as a result of frequent sauna usage. So bear that in mind as well. So yes, norepinephrine helps with our attention, our ability to stay focused, which I personally believe relates, is totally pertinent to our ability to our self-esteem. Because if norepinephrine supports our focus, our attention, and so on and so forth, then therefore we become more productive. We're able to get more done. And when you're able to get more done, this improves our self-esteem because we become more disciplined. We're more able to get things done. and this, makes us feel like we're in control of our lives. And it makes us feel more peaceful. It makes us develop momentum in our lives, which has all kinds of positive effects on our confidence, our self-esteem, and so on and so forth. So this is just an indirect benefit of sauna usage, in my opinion. And science is now showing that sauna also has massive benefits in terms of, like I said earlier, neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons within the hippocampus, okay? So along with exercise, the heat stress that occurs as a consequence of sauna exposure, it can actually activate something called BDNF. So BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, actually increases. It helps neurogenesis in two different ways, because it increases the growth of new brain cells, new neurons, but it also protects our existing neurons. We want to protect the neurons we already have, and we also want to stimulate the growth of new neurons, and that's what BDNF does. And sauna, along with cold exposure as well, but sauna in this instance, for this particular podcast, really helps us to modulate neuroplasticity, and it can support our long-term memory by supporting and activating BDNF, okay? And, BDNF has also been shown to positively alleviate the symptoms of anxiety and depression, especially as a result of, traumatizing events from our past. So regularly using the sauna can indirectly help us to rewire and restructure our brain in the form of neuroplasticity, and therefore help us to, over time, overcome some traumatizing past events that seem to hold many people back in their lives. So, I mean, the benefits of saunas are absolutely ridiculous, and it's so easy for us to benefit them. So please start to take sauna usage seriously, ideally after your exercise sessions to help you recover. And I literally finished in the sauna an hour and a half ago. Yes, an hour and a half ago. I had just finished the sauna. What was my day like, just to give you an idea? So I slept about 8 hours last night, which was great. Sleep is absolutely crucial. It is number one. We want to aim between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I got my 8 hours last night, which is fantastic. I woke up, worked on my business for many hours, but without any water, without consuming any calories, drinking at all. I utilized autophagy today, which is incredible for our inflammation. And autophagy is all about survival of the fittest, creating cells and neurons within us that are absolutely robust and very strong, because when we fast, especially when we do a dry fast, it teaches our strong cells to kind of eat and consume our weaker proteins, our weaker cells. So we start to eliminate dirty water and unhealthy cells when we utilize autophagy. That's what I did today. I had a dry fast for 16 hours, and then I had a coffee, and I started to gradually get the water retake back up whilst I was doing my reading, my learning. So that was awesome. Then I went to the gym, still fasted. What did I do? I did some weights. I did a bit of a back workout, only about 20 minutes, because I was a bit tired. I didn't put too much pressure on myself to lift incredibly heavy. Lifted some weights, and then after that, I did some 20 minutes of kickboxing. Got a bit of a sweat going on. Wasn't my best workout. I think I was wearing a black top when I train, and black top absorbs heat. So if you think about it, I was doing autophagy, I was fasting, I just recently started to consume water and caffeine. Caffeine before a workout is brilliant for improving your focus, but also your ability to push yourself, but not too much in this instant. I was exhausted, especially after lifting weights. I did 20 minutes of kickboxing, wasn't my best session. But, sometimes it's good to not put too much pressure on yourself, because after all, I did fast the whole day. So I did a bit of training. Then straight after that, I went into the sauna for 20 minutes, just like I've told you in this podcast, the importance of utilizing the sauna. And I was super baked. I was incredibly hot. Heart rate was increasing exponentially. Sweated a bucket full. After that, I had a freezing cold shower for about 10 minutes. Again, cold exposure is incredible, just as important as heat exposure. So I stimulated BDNF through my heat, through the hot and cold sauna and cold shower usage that I implemented. And then I rocked out, got ready, and here we go. Did my podcast. I came home. I ate. I did eat. I broke my fast. What did I eat today? I'm sharing with you my healthy lifestyle at the moment, so you can kind of understand how Mr. Jem lives his life. What did I have? First thing I had was a big bowl of salad to break my fast. A great way to break your fast. I had a big salad, kale leaves, celery, chopped tomatoes, cucumbers, some beetroot. Whoa, fantastic for blood circulation, beetroot. Great. Absolutely wonderful for you. The amount of antioxidants I had in this salad was great. I should have put olive oil on it, damn it. But I'll let myself off. It was a busy day. I had some salmon. What did I have with the salmon, man? I had some turkey slices, just because I fancied it. It was about. I had some cheese. I know the dairy, but cheese gives you lots of benefits, and especially as it relates to vitamin D as well. Also, I had goat's cheese, which is great for a keto diet. So intermittent fasting, caloric restriction, all these sort of things supports a ketogenic lifestyle. I had my supplementation. Yes. Let me talk to you about that as well. To be fair, I've had an amazing day, not gonna lie. What did I do? So to support autophagy, I also had this drink. I've got it with me now. It's got, can you hear it? Yes. It's got matcha green tea, which is the best form of green tea. It has a powerful antioxidant known as EGCG. And this is absolutely incredible for your brain development, for preserving memory, helping with learning. And it's also great for stimulating thermogenesis, which is the creation of brown fat. We want brown fat because that helps us with our metabolism, helps us lose the kind of fats that we don't like, such as white fat and visceral fat, the kind of fat in between and inside even our organs, and so on and so forth. So I've got matcha green tea. I've got reishi mushroom, which is very, very healthy for you, especially for supporting autophagy, survival of the fittest in terms of your cells, like I said earlier. What else have I got? I put in turmeric, and the main active ingredient in turmeric is curcumin. Absolutely incredible for looking after your brain, stimulating neurogenesis as well as reducing inflammation, preventing the onslaught of age-related illnesses like dementia and so on and so forth. So turmeric is great for autophagy as well. What's the other? And I had some wheatgrass, highly alkaline, absolutely incredible for you in terms of uplifting your energy levels. Great antioxidants in wheatgrass as well. And that's the drink I've got here. What else have I got? I've got this sparkling energy water. I don't normally like energy drinks, but this one is 0 calories, no sweeteners, 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0 sweeteners, natural energy. Nothing is artificial in it. It's got yerba mate, which is a South American, Argentinian super powerhouse tea, I'll call it. Got loads of nutrients in there, absolutely packed with dozens of minerals and vitamins, as well as having caffeine. So it's got me jacked up. It's got ginseng extract, guarana extract. It's got all the B vitamins in it in this drink. So B vitamins are great for your energy levels, for your ability to focus, especially vitamin B6 and B12, preventing fatigue. So it's absolutely wonderful. It's getting the job done for me. especially at this time of day after all that I've been through. So those are the drinks that I've got in front of me right now. Yeah, and it's my day. I'm going to eat once more in about an hour and a half or so. Start to calm the body down. That's what I was going to say. I was going to talk to you through my supplementation. I had some good supplements. I had lots of fish oils. I had krill oil, which is high in DHA. So your brain is made of 60% fat, mostly fat and water, right? And 20% of your cerebrum, your cortex, is made up of DHA, right? But your body doesn't naturally produce DHA, so you've got to get it externally in the form of like wild-caught salmon, seafood, all these sorts of fishes, or in the form of fish oils and krill oils and so on and so forth. And that's what I did. It's great. It's the best thing you could do for your brain to improve brain function. And to reduce inflammation, and it has been shown to actually be a fat loss aid in many ways as well. So I had my fish oils, I had my krill oil, I had my vitamin D3. Great for your metabolism, great for testosterone, great for supporting mood, supporting focus, helping you with fat loss. Vitamin D3 is fantastic for you. What else did I have? I forgot what it's called. I had chromium, along with EGCG. And what's that? Garcinia Cambogia. I had that as well. Those three in conjunction are great for fat loss, for maintaining your lean muscle mass and making sure that you don't put on weight. It prevents you. It kind of blocks the building, the formation of fat cells. So yeah, I have those three. What else did I have? I'm saving my magnesium supplement for later, before bed. I had 5-HTP. Which is great for brain function, because I knew I was going to do this podcast, and I've had a hell of a day working on the business, exercising, autophagy and all that. I had, ginseng and ginkgo biloba. Fantastic for brain function, like I said. An absolute powerhouse for improving cognitive aptitude. So I had that as well before this podcast. Yeah, and I'm staying hydrated. Now I'm going to drink a lot of water, and not too much, because it can work against you when you're trying to get a good night's sleep, because you want to go toilet all the time. Trust me, I've learned that the hard way. I'm going to have my nice evening routine. I might do a little bit of reading, and reading stimulates neurogenesis as well. And I mean, this is my life, guys. I go sleep early most nights. I look after myself. I exercise often. I use the sauna often. I sleep 7 to 9 hours most days. Make sure I supplement well. And not gonna lie, I feel great. Every day I'm positive, and I've conditioned my unconscious to be positive. I've conditioned myself to be optimistic, to have energy, to challenge myself, to be in the present moment as often as possible, to do my best not to get distracted by the mind, my ego, because the ego can be very limiting indeed. So, I feel like I'm constantly getting better. I've always loved learning, but even more so now, I read, I'd say, an hour and a half on your average day, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes just half hour, depending on how many meetings and things I've got to produce, and ideas that I've got to work on, and all sorts. So, I mean, this is my lifestyle, guys. I absolutely love it, and I think sauna is definitely massively improving my health, my focus, my ability to maintain my size, my physical stature. Great for my bone density. Great for my muscle gain, my metabolism. Like I said, insulin sensitive. So, it's easy to... Every time you eat, it spikes your insulin, to be honest with you. But when you're insulin sensitive, you don't need as much glucose. Your pancreas isn't going to create an overload of glucose in order to force your cells to digest it, your cells that aren't working healthily. But when you're insulin sensitive, which is what my lifestyle supports, to be honest with you, then you're heading for happiness. You know, every day I'm getting smarter and smarter. The fact that I'm sleeping well enables me to transfer short-term learning into my long-term memory, enables me to be more creative. Your performance is massively improved, and your productivity by up to 30 to 40% just by sleeping well. You know, by sleeping well, it enables you to produce more and more, what's called natural killer cells. And these are, you know, immunity boosting cells, really. They attack all kinds of damaging proteins and cells in your body. It kills all kinds of like cancerous cells, stop them from developing. So not only does your muscle recovery happen when you sleep well, but your mental recovery, it helps to remove plaque from your brain as well. So you can delay or eliminate any potentiality of acquiring any age-related illnesses. So yeah, I mean, this is the life. I can't complain, guys. I love what I do for a living. I'm never bored. I'm always active. I've always got good energy for one reason or another. I'm a very active person, very thoughtful, you know, constantly looking to help people in a multitude of different ways and give and become the best version of myself, to be honest. You know, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes still as well. I'm always learning, you know, it is what it is. But as long as you've got that desire, and I think sauna can really help with your desire to become the best version of yourself, to be honest with you, because of the mental, physical, emotional benefits, the hormonal benefits, the mood changes. Do you know what I mean? I mean, your longevity, like the confidence it gives you to know that you're being healthier, that you're significantly reducing your chances of acquiring like cardiovascular disease, it reduces hypertension, reduces the risk of strokes. You know, I mean, does it get more important than this? Of course it doesn't. So, I mean, if you've enjoyed this podcast, you want to know more about how to take your quality of life to the highest level, you might want to get my free ebook, guys, 10 Steps to Excellence. You can get it at my website, www.alexgem.com. Go hook yourself up. You're going to love it. What else should you do? Well, if you really take your life seriously, why don't you get my book, The Art of Power, Happiness and Success. You can get that at my store, www.alexgemstore.com. You can also get it at Amazon. Check it out. It's a beautiful read, I must say. Well, I would say that, wouldn't I? If you're really, really ready to start diving in deep, because reading's beautiful, don't get me wrong, it stimulates neurogenesis, stimulates neuroplasticity, you can rewire and restructure your brain through learning new materials and challenging yourself in a multitude of different ways. But I offer this elite course, guys. You're going to absolutely love it. It's called The Power System. Okay? All you need to do, once you're at my website, just beneath where I give away my free ebook, click where it says join PHS course today. That's right. Click that button. Check out that page so you can learn all about what this course consists of. Watch the video. I did this video on the most incredible castle. I don't want to give too many details away, but you'll see it. I mean, the background is gorgeous. You know, I specifically planned to shoot it there. What an experience it was. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, scroll down to the bottom of that page and you'll actually see that not only the testimonials, but you'll see the course outline. You'll see the different sections that comprise this course. You can also see the certain segments that make up each section. Some of those segments are actually set to preview. So if you click on the preview button, you will actually get the worksheets, which are tremendous, worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's taken me 15 years to put this course together, guys. Holy cow. You know, I've spent thousands and thousands of pounds learning from my mentors, learning from going on courses, going to seminars from all kinds of tremendous, successful, wealthy, happy individuals around the world. And also through my trial and error, like it's 15 years condensed into a course. It's absolutely unbelievable what it teaches. The worksheets are tremendous, very specific, really delves in deep, gets you to revisit your past so you can overcome any hurdles and obstacles. You get to move forward, you get to understand your habits, you get to start to implement some quality habits into your lifestyle that really makes a difference. It's quite challenging. It's all about teaching you how to set goals, having a vision, how to stay on track, how to avoid distractions, how to overcome your limiting beliefs, how to change your unconscious, your subconscious programs. 95% of your emotions, your perceptions, your thoughts are subconscious programs, and you can change those over time through this course. Amazing bonuses I've got attached. Go check out the bonuses that I've got included as well. So you'll see the worksheets, you'll see the written word, you can listen to my audio, and you can also watch the videos that I've done for each segment as well, the current ones that I set for preview. So you can try before you buy, really. I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk involved, to be honest with you. Go hook yourself up, enjoy the course. Once you finish it, start over again, because you're going to indoctrinate yourself with these philosophies, these ideas, and start to really take hold and control of your life, guys. You deserve it. Come work with me live. My goodness. Check out the Power Mastermind. You can get that in my course as well, just underneath the courses. The Power Mastermind is tremendous. It takes you on a journey step by step. We look at our strengths. We look at our superpowers. Look at the kind of lifestyle we want to create together. We then move on to looking at our actions, what we don't want to do anymore, what we do want to do more of, how to fuel our current strengths, what new habits we want to instill in our unconscious so we can better the quality of our lives. We address our problems together. We address our fears and obstacles and come up with solutions for these. And we also put everything that we learn, all these brilliant nuanced things, we put them together, we package them up so you leave the mastermind feeling, not only having better links and feeling that you've really learned and you've developed a community of like-minded individuals, but you leave with a plan, and you leave with key takeaways. You leave being able to revisit this information quite easily. And that's really, really important, because it's all well and good enjoying the mastermind. It really is a life-changing event. But when you leave, sometimes when you leave these kind of events, you don't really revisit the material because it's overwhelming. You look at the booklet and it puts you off. But, a couple of the sheets that we end the mastermind with really encapsulates the major parts that you've taken from the mastermind. So you just need to revisit that every now and again to kind of refresh your mind, keep yourself on track, just in case you got distracted or caught up in your ego, or caught up in your fears and your stresses. So it's absolutely wonderful. I've got some incredible bonuses attached to the Power Mastermind as well. You might want to check that out too. And what else can I do, guys? I mean, I'm doing my best. I'm always learning. I hope you appreciate the value that I provide. Start maximizing not only your workouts, but start maximizing your use of the sauna and hot and cold exposure. Does wonders for your health, for your physical shape, and most importantly for your brain function here. Look after yourself, guys. Stay strong and have a great day. I'll see you soon.